Elon Musk has said that he is pursuing a hostile takeover of Twitter not for financial gain, but for the future of civilization, saying that he has a plan B if his initial $41 billion offer fails. Musk's plan faces an uphill battle, with a Saudi prince who claims to be a major shareholder saying that he would vote against the offer of $54.20 per share, insisting that it doesn't come close to the intrinsic value of the social media platform. And the Twitter board, meeting on Thursday afternoon, is considering combating the hostile takeover with a so-called poison pill provision that would prevent Musk from increasing his stake in Twitter, a source told the Wall Street Journal. But Musk, speaking at the TED 2022 conference in Vancouver on Thursday afternoon, defended his offer, saying he was motivated to transform Twitter into a bastion of free speech. "This is not about the economics," Musk said. "My strong intuitive sense is having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is important to the future of civilization. The civilizational risk is decreased the more we can increase the trust of Twitter as a public platform," he said. "Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square, so it's really important that people have both the reality and perception that they are able to speak freely, in the bounds of the law." Asked whether there is a plan B if the Twitter board rejects his bid, Musk responded there is, but declined to offer further details, saying that he would elaborate further at another time. Though regulatory filings suggest that his bid is contingent on anticipated financing, Musk insisted that he had the resources on his own to complete the transaction, saying, "I have sufficient assets, I can do it." Twitter's board of directors was meeting on Thursday afternoon to discuss Musk's historic takeover bid, and the company planned to hold an all-hands meeting later in the day to update employees. Shares of Twitter swung between positive and negative in volatile afternoon trading, but remained well below Musk's offer price of $54.20 per share, suggesting that markets are skeptical that the deal will go through. Elon Musk appeared at the TED 2022 conference on Thursday, saying that he is pursuing a hostile takeover of Twitter not for financial gain, but for the future of civilization, saying that he has a plan B if his initial $41 billion offer fails. "My strong intuitive sense is having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is important to the future of civilization," he said. Shares of Twitter slumped in midday trading, dropping below Wednesday's closing price to $45.76, well below Musk's offer price, signaling that investors remain skeptical that his takeover bid will succeed. Musk launches bid in text message to Twitter chair. According to a regulatory filing, Musk launched his takeover bid in a text message to Twitter board chairman Bret Taylor on Wednesday. The text message read, "As I indicated this weekend, I believe that the company should be private to go through the changes that need to be made. After the past several days of thinking this over, I have decided I want to acquire the company and take it private. I am going to send you an offer letter tonight. It will be public in the morning. Are you available to chat?" At the TED conference, Musk laid out his vision for Twitter, saying that he believed the source code for the site's algorithm should be openly shared on GitHub. "Having a black box algorithm that promotes some things and demotes others is really dangerous," he said. He said that permanent bans from the platform should be rare, and that the only limits on speech should be the legal limits imposed by the governments of countries Twitter operates in. "A good sign as to whether there is free speech is when someone you don't like is allowed to say something you don't like. If that is the case, then you have free speech," said Musk. However, he did not directly address whether he would reinstate former users who have been banned from Twitter, a category that notably includes Donald Trump. Meanwhile, a Saudi prince who claims to be one of the largest Twitter shareholders said that Musk's offer was insufficient. Walid bin Talal made the announcement on Twitter itself Thursday morning, writing, "I don't believe that the proposed offer by Elon Musk comes close to the intrinsic value of Twitter given its growth prospects. Being one of the largest and long-term shareholders of Twitter, Kingdom_KHC, and I reject this offer." KHC is the Saudi-based holding company bin Talal operates. He also shared a grab of a tweet from 2015, in which he announced Kingdom KHC had upped its stake in Twitter to 5.2%. However, regulatory filings show that KHC's stake in Twitter dropped below 5% in 2016, and it's unclear how much of the company Talal truly owns today. Musk, whose 9.2% stake is the biggest of any shareholder, made his sensational bid for the company early Friday. Twitter's board of directors will be meeting soon to discuss Elon Musk's $41.39 billion hostile takeover bid, with the company saying it will carefully review the proposal. The Twitter board will meet on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time to consider Musk's bid to take the company private, and the company will hold an all-hands meeting to update staffers at 5 p.m., according to CNBC. Shares of Twitter slumped in midday trading, dropping below Wednesday's closing price to $45.76, well below Musk's offer price, signaling that investors remain skeptical that his takeover bid will succeed. According to a regulatory filing, Musk launched his bid with a text message to Twitter board chair Bret Taylor on Wednesday, telling him he was preparing to send an offer letter and asking, "Are you available to chat?" Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal rejected Elon Musk's offer to buy the firm in this tweet sent Friday afternoon. Al-Walid bin Talal, pictured, previously boasted of raising his investment group's stake in the firm to 5.7% in 2015. The Twitter board will meet on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time to consider Musk's bid to take the company private, and the company will hold an all-hands meeting to update staffers at 5 p.m. A conference room in Twitter headquarters is seen above. In a tweet, the SpaceX CEO simply wrote, "I made an offer." The US-educated billionaire who almost lost everything, who is MBS's cousin Prince Al-Walid bin Talal of Saudi Arabia. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal was one of the richest men in the Middle East but suffered after a fallout with his cousin Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and nearly lost everything. The 67-year-old is a grandson of the first king of the country and in 2008 was judged by Time to be one of the top 100 most influential people in the world. His wealth is concentrated in his 95% stake in Kingdom Holding Company, which invests in other firms. He has lived a life of untold riches, with him reportedly once owning a 435-bedroom palace and being worth $39.8 billion, according to Forbes in 2017. But Prince Al-Walid nearly lost everything later that year when he was arrested and MBS seized $2 billion worth of his assets that were held in Saudi Arabia. The Crown Prince also tried to snatch his foreign assets. Al-Walid owns shares in Twitter, Lyft, Citigroup, and top hotels including the George V in Paris and the Plaza in New York. Daily Mail revealed the Trump administration allegedly made a deal with MBS, allowing him to seize his US assets as long as the assets remained inside the US. He was reportedly targeted as part of a major crackdown on corruption in the country. But the prince was released in January 2018 after he made an undisclosed financial settlement with the Saudi government after 2 months held captive. He had been held with dozens of other billionaires in the luxury Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Riyadh until he was released. Allegations against Prince Al-Walid included money laundering, bribery and extorting officials, a Saudi official told. It is still not clear what he had to pay to be released, but officials had previously ordered him to pay at least $6 billion. Prince Al-Walid was born in Jeddah as the son of Saudi Arabia's finance minister. But his parents split up when he was 7 and he stayed with his mother in Lebanon while his father was in exile. He studied at Pinewood College in Beirut before being sent to King Abdulaziz Military Academy in Riyadh. By 1979 he had moved to the US to study business administration at Menlo College in California, which he finished in 2.5 years and left with a degree. He stayed in the US and went on to get a master's degree from the Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs at Syracuse University in 1985. After university he returned to the Middle East, where he bought a number of banks and quickly built up his fortune. He continued to expand his business ventures abroad, and in 1997 he was largest shareholder in Apple with a 5% stake. Other notable companies he invested in include Planet Hollywood, Coca-Cola, and Ford. Elsewhere he also made a name for himself by donating $10 million to the then NYC Mayor Rudy Giuliani in the wake of the 9/11 terror attacks. He said at the time, "At times like this, we must address some of the issues that led to such a criminal attack. I believe the government of the United States of America should re-examine its policies in the Middle East and adopt a more balanced stance toward the Palestinian cause." Prince Alwaleed owns one of the biggest yachts in the world, the 200